Alright, today I want to talk about fasting and just give you the walkthrough that I run people through when they ask me about whether or not they should be fasting. And I hope it gives you some valuable takeaways. I'll see you inside. Alright, I'm not going to take your time up with a long explanation of what fasting is and what does and doesn't break a fast. For the sake of this talk, when I say the word fast, I am speaking of abstaining from food and only drinking water, black coffee, and other non-caloric beverages. With that being said, let's get started. I personally believe that a daily fast between 16 and 18 hours should not elicit a negative impact on a healthy individual. With that being said, if you're already at a low level of muscle mass, a low thyroid, a low sex hormone output like testosterone and progesterone, or just a high stress individual, and you aren't currently fasting, I do not think I would recommend you begin implementing a fasting regimen into your lifestyle. In my experience, a 16 to 18 hour fast is just a great way for someone to reduce their food intake in a manner that often feels effortless and less difficult than small, frequent meals. Additionally, during the period in which someone is not eating, they are often able to think more clearly, be more productive, and just have an overall much more stable mood and energy. However, there are individuals that may find that not eating in the morning actually makes them less productive. For these rare individuals, I just would not recommend fasting because it impedes their daily productivity and general well-being. When we get into prolonged fasting, which I would say begins after 24 hours, there are some additional benefits due to simply not spending energy digesting foods for a prolonged period of time. Herein, we can divert energy towards repairing the gut, repairing damaged cells, possibly getting rid of cancerous cells, detoxification, and just general weight loss. Simply, we would not otherwise prioritize energy in these locations if we had to use it to metabolize and digest food. With that being said, in my experience, fasting for more than 24 hours, any more frequently than 2 to 3 times per month, is getting into a territory that may begin to impair endocrine function and muscle mass. However, in an individual who is very overweight, the frequency of prolonged fasting can be increased without seeing much detriment to these areas. For someone who's overweight, there's a very high likelihood they have blood pressure, blood sugar, inflammation, cortisol, and other negative physiological parameters. I personally would prefer to fix these as soon as possible to avoid excess long-term damage, and long fasting can be a way to do so. Fasting is a tool that can be used to quickly reduce weight and stop all the negative effects caused by excess body fat accumulation. Now, it is true that fasting will reduce the production of thyroid and the aforementioned sex hormones acutely. Therefore, I want to support anabolism and the production of these hormones as much as possible during the period we're eating. For me, my biggest worry is that an individual does not consume sufficient micronutrients and protein when they are eating, and the reduction in hormones is impaired even further. When we pair fasting with a diet that is low in nutrients and devoid of protein, this is when we begin to get in trouble with fasting causing poor health outcomes rather than positive health outcomes. So, when we do eat after a fast, or when we are eating before an upcoming fast, I always recommend eating as much variety and quantity of micronutrients, minerals, and amino acids as possible. However, I can't say that this recommendation is specific to a fasting lifestyle. I always suggest eating these beneficial compounds. However, it is much more important if we are going prolonged period of time without the intake of amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to ensure that we are getting an abundance of them when we eat. However, I do believe you can get all the benefits of fasting by simply eating in an intelligent manner. Fasting is a tool that can make things feel easier and has the potential to add additional benefits beyond what you would get out of simply caloric restriction. However, I am not confident in saying that for certain, and would likely wait until more science is published about the physiological, psychological, and longevity benefits of fasting before telling you that it's better than caloric restriction. And that is all I have for today. I really hope this helps and gives you a framework for fasting and maybe whether or not it's right for you. I hope you join me next episode.